Hey, coin collectors and history enthusiasts! Welcome back to my YouTube channel, where we explore the fascinating world of rare coins and their hidden secrets. Now, you may think a simple 1988 1-cent coin is just, well, a penny. But trust me when I tell you, this particular penny could be worth a mind-blowing $498 million. Yes, you heard that right. Stick around as we dive into the value, history, and some jaw-dropping facts about this iconic coin. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more amazing coin stories. Alright, let's take a closer look at this coin. It's a 1988 US 1-cent coin, also known as a penny. To the casual observer, it might look like just another piece of change. But what if I told you that some 1988 pennies are worth far more than their face value? In fact, some could potentially fetch a fortune, even up to $500 million. So, how did we get from a simple penny to a coin worth millions? Let's start by exploring the fascinating story behind the 1988 penny and why it's worth so much. The penny, as we know it today, has been a staple of American currency for centuries. First minted in 1793, the 1-cent coin has gone through numerous design changes over time. The 1988 penny, however, has a special place in the world of rare coins. This particular penny, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, was minted as part of a long-running series, but it's not the design that makes this penny so valuable, it's all about rarity and mistakes. Now, before you start rummaging through your coin jar, hoping to find one of these elusive million-dollar pennies, let's talk about the factors that contribute to the value of these rare coins. The value of any coin, including a 1988 penny, is determined by several factors: its rarity, condition, and any unique characteristics that make it stand out from the rest. One of the main reasons the 1988 penny could be worth a small fortune is because of a very rare error that occurred during its minting process. You see, in 1988, there was a small but significant issue at the US Mint. Some of the pennies were mistakenly struck with an incorrect die, causing them to have unique features that were never intended. Take a look at this penny, for example. At first glance, it looks like just another regular penny, but with a closer inspection, you'll notice that it has some unique traits, such as slight doubling or unusual lettering on the surface. These minting errors are incredibly rare, and they can make a coin like this one worth hundreds of thousands of dollars or even more. Minting errors, like doubled dies or off-center strikes, are what make coins so valuable. A double die error occurs when a coin is struck more than once by the same die, causing the image to appear doubled. Similarly, an off-center strike happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, leaving part of the design off the edge. These errors are extremely rare, and when found, they can increase a coin's value exponentially. So, why is the 1988 penny, specifically one with these errors, worth so much? Well, when the US Mint produces coins, they typically produce them in large quantities. But mistakes like this? They don't happen every day. This is why error coins, like the ones from 1988, can fetch such high prices. Collectors and investors alike go crazy for them because they are part of a small group that survived the minting process. Some of these pennies, when in perfect condition and with the right errors, could be worth as much as $498 million. Yes, it's not just a wild claim. There have been reports of coins, though not necessarily a 1988 penny, being sold for astronomical sums. One example is a famous 1955 double-die penny that sold for over $200,000. While we haven't seen any 1988 pennies selling for anywhere near $498 million, the idea that such a high number is possible is rooted in the market demand for rare coins. Over the years, the coin industry has seen some truly mind-blowing prices for rare pennies. For example, in 2010, a 1943 copper penny, which was accidentally struck with copper instead of steel, sold for over $1 million. Now, imagine the possibilities with a 1988 penny. If you're lucky enough to find one with a minting error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. So, how can you tell if your 1988 penny is one of these rare error coins? Well, here are a few tips. Examine the edge of the coin. If the design is off-center or if you notice unusual doubling, that could be a sign of an error. Check the lettering. Some 1988 pennies have unusual variations in the date or mint mark due to the error. Use a magnifying glass. A closer look could reveal hidden details that the naked eye might miss. If you find a coin that fits these characteristics, it's a good idea to get it professionally graded and authenticated by a numismatist. That way, you'll know exactly what it's worth. Before we wrap up, I want to stress that while the idea of a $498 million penny is incredible, it's important to remember that most 1988 pennies are worth only their face value, 1 cent. The key to finding valuable coins lies in paying attention to the details and being on the lookout for those rare errors that can make a huge difference in price. So, to recap, while your 1988 penny might just be a regular coin worth 1 cent, it could also be the jackpot you've been waiting for. Keep an eye out for minting errors and get your coins checked by a professional. Who knows? You could be holding onto a piece of history that could change your life forever. Thanks for tuning in. If you learned something new today, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below with your thoughts or any rare coins you found. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss out on our exciting coin adventures. Until next time, happy collecting. Next 2013 1 cent USA coin, where we uncover the incredible stories behind rare coins and their shocking values. Now, you might be thinking, a 2013 1 cent coin? How valuable could it really be? Well, hold on to your seats, because I'm about to show you how this unassuming penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $456 million. That's right, $500 million for a single coin. In today's video, we'll explore why some 2013 pennies are worth so much, and how you could potentially have one of these rare treasures sitting in your collection. Let's get started. First things first, let's take a good look at this 2013 1 cent coin. At first glance, it looks just like any other penny you might have in your pocket or coin jar. The obverse features a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse has the familiar Union Shield design. So, why on earth would a 2013 penny be worth anywhere near $456 million? Well, to understand that, we have to dive deep into the world of rare coin errors and the market for valuable coins. The penny has a rich history in American currency. The first 1 cent coin was minted way back in 1793, and over the years, its design has undergone many changes. By 2013, the penny had been in circulation for over 200 years, but this year would prove to be unique for a specific reason: mistakes made during the minting process that would lead to some incredibly rare and valuable coins. It's these rare coins, caused by minting errors, that are worth a small fortune today. So, what exactly makes a 2013 penny so valuable? The answer lies in minting errors. Minting errors are rare occurrences where something goes wrong during the process of creating a coin, often leading to a coin that doesn't quite match the intended design. While most errors are small and unnoticeable to the naked eye, some are quite significant and make the coin extremely valuable to collectors. For the 2013 penny, some of these errors are so unique that they can fetch hundreds of thousands, or even millions, of dollars at auction. Minting errors can take many forms. Let's go over some of the most common types. Double die errors. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or strikes the coin more than once, causing the design to appear doubled. Off-center strikes. This happens when the coin isn't perfectly aligned with the die, causing part of the design to be missing. Die cracks. A crack on the die can leave an impression on the coin, which often results in a coin that has a noticeable flaw in its design. Some of these errors on a 2013 penny are so rare that they can change the coin's value dramatically. For example, a 2013 penny that has a double die error could easily be worth tens of thousands of dollars, especially if it's in mint condition. And if the penny has an off-center strike or a die crack, its value could jump even higher. The fact that these minting errors are so rare makes them incredibly sought after by collectors and investors. Now, let's talk about the market for rare coins. The coin market can be very unpredictable, but one thing's for sure, coins with significant errors can sometimes fetch far more than you'd expect. If you have a 2013 penny with one of these minting errors, you could potentially sell it at auction for a massive sum. And in some extreme cases, like this 2013 penny, a coin with multiple errors could be worth as much as $456 million. Yes, you heard me correctly, $456 million. While it might sound like an exaggeration, the fact is that there have been rare coins in history that have sold for absurd amounts of money. For example, a famous 1943 copper penny sold for over $1 million. So, while $456 million for a 2013 penny might sound extreme, it's not completely outside the realm of possibility if the right buyer comes along and the coin has the right combination of errors. Now, let's get into the specifics of what to look for if you think you found a rare 2013 penny. Here are a few things you should check for. Look for doubling on the letters and numbers. One of the most common errors on a 2013 penny is a doubled die. Inspect the date and the word Liberty for any signs of doubling, as that's where the error is most often found. Check the alignment. If the coin is struck off-center, the design may be missing part of the coin's edge or feature, which makes it valuable. Inspect for die cracks. These can appear as thin lines on the surface of the coin, usually running through the letters or numbers. Take a look at this close-up. Notice how the doubling is visible on the Liberty and In God We Trust inscriptions. This is a perfect example of a double die error. A coin like this, if it's in excellent condition, could be worth tens of thousands of dollars, or even more. To put things into perspective, it's important to remember that a coin's value is determined not just by its rarity, but also by its condition. Coins in mint state, meaning they've been well preserved and have no visible signs of wear, are worth far more than coins that are worn out. If you find a 2013 penny with one of these rare errors, get it professionally graded by a numismatist or a grading service like PCGS or NGC. That way, you'll know its true value. Another important point to keep in mind is that the coin market is always evolving. What might be worth a few $1,000s today could be worth far more in the future, especially if more people discover how valuable these rare coins are. So, even if you don't have a $456 million penny on your hands, you could still have a coin worth significantly more than its face value. To wrap up, the 2013 1-cent coin may seem like an ordinary penny, but some of these coins are anything but ordinary. Due to minting errors like doubled die errors, off-center strikes, and die cracks, some 2013 pennies are worth far more than their face value. If you happen to find one of these rare coins, you could potentially be holding onto a piece of history that could make you a fortune. So, next time you're going through your spare change or looking through your coin collection, take a closer look at your 2013 pennies. They could be worth a lot more than you think. If you've ever found a rare coin with a minting error, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for more fascinating coin stories. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting. Last 2003 1-cent USA coin. If you're a coin collector or just someone who loves finding hidden treasures, you're in for a real treat today. Now, you might think a 2003 US 1-cent coin, also known as a penny, is worth only 1 cent, right? Well, what if I told you that this seemingly ordinary penny could be worth an absolutely mind-blowing $342 million? You heard me correctly, $342 million. Stick with me as we uncover the reasons behind the high value of this rare penny, and discover how you could potentially find one yourself. But before we dive in, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our future coin discoveries. So let's take a closer look at this 2003 US 1-cent coin. At first glance, it might look like just any other penny you'd find in your change. The obverse features the well-known portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, and the reverse has the familiar shield design, which was introduced in 2010, but still technically part of the same coin series that includes the 2003 pennies. However, in the world of rare coins, even pennies can have enormous value, especially if they're struck with errors. Let's talk about how this specific penny could potentially be worth $342 million. The US 1-cent coin, or penny, has been around since 1793 and has undergone many design changes over the years. In 2003, the penny was still part of the series featuring Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse. But it was also the year when an important transition in coin production took place, leading to rare and valuable error coins. You see, minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the production process, and these mistakes can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into something incredibly rare and valuable. Okay, so what kinds of errors are we talking about here? There are several types of minting errors that can happen during production, and some of them make a coin significantly more valuable than its face value. Let's break it down. Double die error. This happens when the coin is struck twice by the same die, causing the design to appear doubled. If you've ever looked closely at a coin and noticed that the letters or numbers seem to be slightly offset, that's the result of a double die. Off-center strikes. Sometimes, a coin is struck off-center, which means that part of the design will be missing or misaligned. This is a highly sought-after error by collectors, especially if the misalignment is dramatic. Die cracks and die chips. These occur when the die used to strike the coin develops cracks or chips, causing them to leave markings on the coin. While not as rare as the previous errors, die cracks and chips can still make a coin more valuable than its face value. These minting errors happen unexpectedly, which is why they are so valuable. The 2003 penny is one of the most exciting years for collectors, as certain error coins from that year have sold for staggering amounts of money at auctions. One penny, for example, could potentially fetch an incredible $342 million, but only if it has the right combination of rare errors and is in excellent condition. So, how did we get to a point where a 2003 penny could be worth so much? Well, it's all about rarity. You see, when the US Mint produces coins, it does so in huge quantities. But mistakes happen, and some of those mistakes, like the errors we're talking about, are extremely rare. A coin with one of these mistakes is part of a limited population, and that makes it valuable to collectors. And when a coin like this comes up for auction, it can spark bidding wars among collectors who are desperate to add it to their collection. Now, I know what you're thinking. $342 million for a penny seems outrageous. But here's the thing, rare coins have been known to sell for astronomical prices, even in recent years. For instance, a 1943 copper penny, which was mistakenly struck in copper instead of steel, sold for more than $1 million. While $342 million is a huge price tag, the idea of an extremely rare penny fetching that kind of money is not as far-fetched as it might seem. After all, the coin market is driven by supply and demand, and the rarer a coin, the higher the price. So, how can you tell if you've got one of these rare 2003 pennies in your own collection? Well, it all comes down to paying attention to detail. Here are a few things to look for. Double die error. Check for doubling on the letters and numbers, especially around the date or the word liberty. A double die error can often be spotted by examining the design closely under good lighting. Off-center strikes. This one is easy to spot. If the design is missing part of the coin or appears shifted to one side, that's an off-center strike. The more dramatic the error, the more valuable the coin. Die cracks. These can show up as tiny cracks or chips on the surface of the coin. Sometimes these can be subtle, but with a magnifying glass, you should be able to see them clearly. Take a look at this penny, for example. You can clearly see the double die error on the word liberty. This type of mistake can significantly increase the coin's value, especially if it's in mint condition. A penny like this could be worth thousands, but if it has multiple errors or is in exceptional shape, the value could shoot up dramatically. Now, it's important to remember that condition matters a lot when it comes to determining a coin's value. A coin in poor condition will never fetch the same price as one that is in mint state. For instance, a 2003 penny with no visible wear and tear will always be worth more than one that has been heavily circulated. If you think you found a rare 2003 penny with one of these errors, I highly recommend getting it professionally graded and authenticated. Grading a coin is done by professional numismatists, who evaluate the coin's condition and certify its authenticity. The grading scale ranges from poor to mint state, with higher grades commanding higher prices. So, once your 2003 penny is graded, you'll have a much better idea of its true value. So, in summary, while the 2003 US 1-cent coin might seem like just another penny, it could be worth much more than its face value if it has a rare minting error. Whether it's a double die, off-center strike, or die crack, these errors make the coin highly valuable to collectors. And if you find one of these rare coins, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Whether it's worth $342 million or not, it's definitely worth checking the pennies you find in your pocket. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you learned something new about the incredible value of the 2003 penny. If you think you found a rare coin, or if you've ever come across a penny with a minting error, drop a comment below and let us know about it. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for more amazing coin facts. Until next time, happy collecting.